Hey there, this is Mike Kaufman in video 4 in my series on how Google Forms can help us to efficiently record the observations that we make of students live in class. In video 4, we're going to see how to actually set up our Google form. As a quick recap, in videos 2 and 3, we saw how to set up Google Drive with Google Docs for each of our classes, as well as how to add the add-on docAppender. So now let's get into setting up our form. First thing we do is we want to title it, and I recommend using a different form for each of the classes that you're going to be making your observations on. All right, so I'm going to set up period 1, and I might add on to the title to make it more specific, like period 1 bimester 2, or period 1 writing skills, or whatever it is that's going to help me know what this form is for. I just want to make sure that it's titled up there as well. The first question is going to be for the different class period. Now I'm not going to add in any options because docAppender is going to do that for us. Next thing I want to do is I want to add on my students. This is definitely a little tedious, right, the first time you set it up, because you got to go through and write in all your students. But don't worry, as you work through the year, you can always just make copies of this form and adjust the questions, but you don't have to readjust the students. All right, and so forth. Now once you're done with your students, we're going to take a look at a couple different questions that I recommend using. The first would be your check boxes for those predetermined comments, right, or those predetermined observations that you're going to be making. Now they could be specific to a skill that you're trying to observe, or they could be generic comments on student behavior in class. Right, again, or specific skill. It could be whether they're prepared or not prepared. And feel free to add in as many of these as possible, right? If you're going to be making a bunch of detailed observations, add in 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 different choices, because remember that you can always click on as many as needed in it. You can also use linear scale questions, right, which will gauge certain skills that you might be looking for. For example, maybe participation. And you can always do 1 through 5 or 1 through 10 or 1 through 4, whatever it is you're looking for. You can always label it none or excellent. And then I also recommend leaving a generic question to make comments. Now, while making detailed comments is not ideal using this, because the purpose of this is to be able to set this up on a mobile device. However, it's always nice to have that option just in case. Now that you have it set up, we're now ready to get docAppender working for us. We're going to click on it and open it up in our sidebar. The first step, it's going to ask us what doc folder we want to use. Now this is one we already set up, so I'm going to pick one from Drive. Now what they're going to do is they're going to show us the most recent one, which is our test grade, the one we just set up. If for some reason you can't find it, you can always search the name of the folder up there. Choose it, click Select, and then click on Next. Now it's going to ask you which question you want docAppender to be set up in. Now if no questions are there, just click Refresh List. There we go. Now the question that I want to set up for is our period, right? Which class I'm working with. Now I'm going to click Save and populate selected question. Once I've done that, you'll notice now period 1, 2, 4, and 6, the same periods that we set up in our Drive, right? Those same 4 documents are now located and appended or connected to my Google form. Then I'm going to click Next. Now it's going to ask me what questions I want to include. I love the timestamp option. That way it keeps track of when I'm making these comments. We don't need the period because that's what I already set up in our Google Doc. We do want to set up our student, observations, participation, comments. And then here we can check the different format options that we have. It can be separated with bulleted lists, separated in vertical tables, or in one single table separated horizontally. I recommend playing around with the 3 options to figure out which one works best for you. Click Enable. Once it's enabled, you might want to preview it. It's period 1. Just make observation on Mike. Great effort, but not prepared. He had excellent participation. And make any comments here. Click submit. I'm going to then go over my drive just to make sure that those comments were successfully added to the document. Let's take a look. All right, it's loading up. Maybe refresh it. All right, and there it is, right? For whatever reason, timestamp was not found. That's just an error. I'm sure that will work, though normally it always does. And there we have it. Our Google form is now set up. Again, feel free to add in questions based on the specific target goals that you have in your observations. All right, the next videos are going to take a look at some more detailed ways that you can use this tool to, again, help record more efficiently the observations you make of your students live in class. Good luck.